The battlefield was silent when I found her. Not the silence of peace, but the hollow quiet that lingers after firestorms and plasma bombardments. The air still stank of ionized metal, the charred ruins of outposts glowing faintly beneath the blood-red sky of Vera 9. I was Corporal Mason Hale, one of the last surviving humans in the shattered perimeter. Our regiment had been decimated in the first wave. I wasn't a hero. I was a straggler clinging to orders that no longer mattered. My armor was cracked, my rifle low on charge, my lungs raw from smoke. That was when I saw her. She was pinned beneath the wreckage of a collapsed gunship, her silver armor dented and sparking. At first, I thought she was human, but the soft glow escaping through the cracks told me otherwise. Her skin shimmered faint blue, her eyes slitted and luminous, her features both strange and breathtakingly sharp. A Kaliri warrior. Enemy. My rifle rose on instinct, but her gaze locked onto mine and I realized she was no longer fighting. She was dying. Her lips parted. Words came in broken standard. Help me. I should have left her. The Kaliri had been our enemies for decades. Their fleets had burned colonies. Their raiders had slaughtered civilians. And yet, something in her voice cracked the armor around my heart. With a curse, I dropped the rifle and strained against the wreckage. Piece by piece, I pulled the debris free until her armored form slid onto the scorched ground. Her breathing was ragged. Why human help me? I didn't have an answer. Maybe because leaving her there felt like abandoning myself. That was the beginning. Middle. She told me her name was Soren. A commander, if her insignia was to be believed. Her armor was a living exosuit, fused to her body in ways human tech could only dream of. But it was failing, core systems fried, nanite channels ruptured. I patched what I could with scavenged power cells and medgel. It wasn't much, but enough to stabilize her. For hours we hid in the ruins, two soldiers from warring species forced into uneasy survival. She spoke haltingly, sometimes in her language, sometimes in mine. Slowly, a fragile trust grew. "We were not always your enemy," she murmured once, staring at the darkening sky. "Long ago, Kaliri and humans fought side by side. Then came the Great Schism. We forgot." I didn't know whether to believe her. History painted the Kaliri as aggressors. But the weariness in her voice, the bitterness, it didn't sound like propaganda. It wasn't until the third night that everything changed. We were ambushed by a scavenger pack, half-feral machines left behind from the bombardment. I fired until my rifle sputtered empty. One of the drones lunged at me, plasma claw raised. I braced for the end. And then Soren screamed. Her armor flared with light, glyphs racing across its surface. But instead of the alien fluidity I had glimpsed before, the plates shifted, locking into rigid, angular patterns. The helmet retracted, reshaped, sleek, tactical, unmistakably human. A human soldier's exosuit. For a moment I thought I was hallucinating. But then Soren surged forward, moving with terrifying precision. The armor fought like a human system would, target-locking drones, auto-adjusting recoil, shifting stance for balance. She tore through the machines with fluid brutality until none remained. When the silence fell again, she looked down at herself, stunned. "This is not Kaliri mode," she whispered. Her voice trembled. "This is human soldier mode." She turned toward me, confusion and something like fear in her eyes. "Why does my armor remember you?" We spent the following days trying to understand what had happened. Her armor, it turned out, was not Kaliri in origin. It was ancient, relic tech passed down through her bloodline. She had never questioned its design, believing it purely Kaliri. But when forced to adapt, it had shifted into something human. Not design, she said slowly. Memory. This armor carries the imprint of its creators. Your kind. I shook my head. That's impossible. Humanity never had tech like this. Not in our history. But doubts gnawed at me. What if she was right? What if humanity's past was more complicated than we had been taught? Soren grew quiet after that. At night, she would touch the glowing seams of her armor, whispering words I didn't understand. I caught fragments: ancestor, betrayal, unity. One evening, she turned to me, her expression fierce. If this armor carries human imprint, then your people and mine, we were not enemies. We were one. Her conviction shook me, because deep down I wanted to believe it. But peace never lasts. We were discovered by Kaleri patrols. Their commander, a brutal officer named Theron, recognized Soren instantly. You were the forbidden armor, he spat. And you let it corrupt you with human filth. His soldiers surrounded us. Soren stepped forward, her armor still locked in human soldier mode. The sight made them recoil as though facing a ghost. This armor, she declared, was not forbidden, it was hidden. Hidden because it holds the truth. The standoff erupted into chaos. Blades clashed, plasma bolts lit the ruins. I fought beside her, my battered rifle roaring its last. But it was Soren's armor that turned the tide, fluidly shifting between alien grace and human precision, cutting through her own kin who now called her traitor. When the last of them fell, she stood panting, blood and sparks staining the ground. They will hunt us now, she said quietly. Both our peoples. Because we carry proof of a bond they want forgotten. Ending. We fled deeper into the ruins, pursued by soldiers of both factions. Neither humans nor Kaleri could allow this truth to surface, because if it did, centuries of war would be exposed as lies. In a cavern beneath the shattered city, Soren showed me the core of her armor. The crystalline heart pulsed, projecting images. Not of Kaleri conquest, not of human struggle, but of humans and Kaleri together, long ago, forging the armor as a symbol of alliance. We had been one people once. Allies. Perhaps even kin. The revelation shook me to my core. Everything we had been taught was wrong. Our war was not destiny, it was engineered. Soren placed the crystal in my hands. If I fall, you must carry this truth. Promise me. I swallowed hard. I promise. We escaped Vera, 9 together, hunted but alive. She would not abandon me, nor I her. In the shattered reflection of her armor, still glowing faintly in human soldier mode, I saw more than an ally. I saw proof that we were never meant to be enemies. And though the galaxy still burns, though armies still march, I carry that promise. Someday, when the lies collapse, humanity and Kaleri will remember the truth. That once we fought as one.